The Smith Wesson Model 29, chambered in .44 Remington Magnum. This pistol is the reason I've absolutely hated Clint Eastwood. In early 1971, my quest for a Model 29 was in high gear. Back then, being able to save enough money to buy one of these beautiful in-frame revolvers wasn't exactly easy for a young upstart with only a part-time job. I was less than $50 away from sauntering into the local gun emporium, plopping down my money, and leaving with my coveted Model 29. Then disaster struck. The movie Dirty Harry hit the movie theaters. Within a week, there wasn't a single Model 29 to be had anywhere. Well, that isn't exactly true, but I wasn't about to pay scalper's prices to some unscrupulous sleazeball who only snagged one in order to turn a big profit. A few months later, I opted to buy the Model 57 in .41 Remington Magnum. That model was still available. Admittedly, I was still pissed off, but the longer I owned the Model 57, the more I began to forget about Clint. Time went on. Good job, marriage, children, mortgage. Well, you get the picture. By this time, the Dirty Harry fervor was long over with, and the Model 29s had returned to the shelves. But again, financially out of reach for me. When the movie Dirty Harry eventually made it to TV, I finally sat down and watched it. I actually liked the movie, but I'll be damned if I didn't find myself brooding after it was over. And I silently stewed about that Model 29 for years to come. Damn you, Harry Callahan. A few more years rolled by, both sons finally grown, proudly serving in the military. I suddenly wake up and find myself not only single again, but also financially devastated. Our Barbie and Ken relationship was definitely over. By the way, divorced Barbie came with a variety of accessories, like Ken's house, Ken's car, and Ken's bank account. Everything except Ken's modest firearms collection. There would be no Model 29 in my foreseeable future. That's all I have to say about that. As time went on, for whatever cosmic reason, other firearms just seemed to fall in my hands. Every time I came close to getting my hands on a Model 29, the Clint Eastwood curse somehow reared its head. For me, a Model 29 was like trying to grasp smoke. Don't get me wrong, I don't consider myself particularly superstitious, but something strange was definitely afoot. I met my current wife some 17 years ago. She is the most amazing woman I've ever met. She's also a Clint Eastwood fan, but I've been willing to overlook that. With her, I could actually sit through your average Clint Eastwood movie simply because she's more entertaining to watch than any movie. The exception, Dirty Harry. 15 years ago, out of the blue, she comes home with a package and hands it to me, saying, "I looked through your revolver collection and noticed you didn't have this one. It's Dirty Harry's gun. I really hope you like it." By now, you're having some idea why I'm crazy about this woman. I'd never mentioned my Dirty Harry aversion to her or anyone else until now. Of course, she would have thought the whole thing a bit silly. Actually, it was a bit more than silly. But damn it, a grudge is a grudge, and I'm a guy, and that's how we roll. Okay, so here I sit, an older man reflecting on all this some 44 years after it all started. And yes, I've become accustomed to having the Model 29 in my collection. Funny thing is, I'm just not able to harbor the grudge anymore. Now, I can only think about how thrilled my wife was to give me this pistol, and that little grin she wore the first time I fired it at the range. To me, that memory is worth more than 1,000 Model 29s. So tonight, after I've wiped this gun down, I'm turning on the big screen. I'm going to slide her Dirty Harry DVD into the Blu-ray player and jack up the surround sound. Then I'm going to cuddle up with my honey and thoroughly enjoy that movie. Looks like you're finally off the hook, Mr. Eastwood. You've finally made my day.